Hi guys, thanks for watching. One of you, okay, that's probably my mum. Welcome back to Beer at the Barbers. We haven't done this for a few months, and I just thought it'd be a great way to just reach out and keep in touch with clients, non-clients, anybody who might be interested, to be honest. Anyone who's not got anything better to do on a Thursday night. It's called Beer at the Barbers, but I'm currently not drinking this month. I'm just giving it a rest, just to see if I can, just to prove that I can. So tonight I'm on Beck's Blue. Where are we? There we go. Beck's Blue. It's all right. There's better ones out there, but it's fine. We've got a couple of guests on this evening. We've got Aaron Marshall from the LS11 podcast. He's actually currently a client as well who comes in to have his haircut, and he also taught Tom at school, which is quite a nice story. I'm sure he's quite interested to hear about Tom's adventures. We were just talking about Tom getting stuck in Southampton after having a skinful at the weekend, and the bus crashed on the way back from the match. Okay, as for beers, I won't go through all the beers. We've got beers from currently from Amity in Farsley and also Horsforth Brewery, who are based in Horsforth. Okay. I'm also hoping to get some in from Bad Brew Co. up at Dishforth up in North Yorkshire. I actually used to live just around the corner from where they're based, like walking distance, honestly. So that I've had a couple of their beers before and they're really nice. So if ever you want to come in and have a beer, you don't even have to have your hair cut. Okay, we've got a licensed bar. You can come and sit and have a chat and a beer. Or if you are having your hair cut, you can just add it onto your bill. Okay. And we want to encourage questions. If people want to participate, if you want to ask questions, that's great. Let me just turn comments on so I can see if anybody is commenting. So if you want to ask questions about what's going on, through what we've done over the last few months, what we've got planned for the next few months, or if you've got questions for any of the guests, if you want to ask about the LS11 podcast, or if you want to ask about Skylights, we've got Turnbull from Skylights. He's the guitarist. He'll be coming on later. And whoever asks the best questions will get a beard gift set. You might not have a beard, you don't need to. You could always gift it to someone else, hence the name gift set. Okay, wrap it up for Christmas. I think the retail at about 25 quid. We've got a beard shampoo, a beard balm, and I think beard oil in there. Okay, they're really nice, made by Pro Rasa. In fact, let me grab one for you. One moment. Okay, so that's your Pro Rasa beard gift set. Comes in a lovely tin. And it's all nicely presented. Oops, like that. Okay. So if you don't have a beard yourself, win one for someone else. Save yourself 25 quid at Christmas, more beer money. Okay, and there'll be a t-shirt as well, a Philip Nicholas t-shirt. We'll chuck one of them in with it as well. Okay, so that was quite dusty, that. I've got dust on my shirt. As for us, let me bring Aaron on there because Aaron sat there picking his nose. Hi Aaron, how are you doing?
I'm all right, buddy. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine, thanks. I thought I won't just leave you in the waiting room, just doing noughts and crosses or whatever.
No, making notes, as I always do.
Yeah. I was just going to sort of give people a bit of background about what we've been doing, what we're up to, etc., and then sort of chat with you as well. Okay, so like I said, we encourage questions. So if anybody wants to win a prize, just drop a message on Facebook or YouTube, whatever you're using, and we'll have a look through the questions and comments later and see who the best contribution is from. The background behind Beer at the Barbers is we started doing it during lockdown just to keep in touch with clients. And hang on a minute, I've got a message already. and it's not on here.
Oh.
But I think it's my wife asking if we've not started yet. Yeah, we've got viewers, so I'm guessing we have, and it says we're live in the top corner of my screen.
Yeah. We're live to the nation, Phil. We're live to the nation.
I know. Yes, we. Then I'll just tell her that we're on, so she can look for it. Right, there you go. That'll be another person watching, as well as my mum. Okay, yeah, we started doing it during COVID to try and keep in touch with people, try and keep people's spirits up, and let them know what our plans were for reopening, etc. And it kind of snowballed. And initially, it was just me chatting to the screen, and then we started like having guests on, and it got quite interesting actually. It was almost in danger of becoming quite good. Since then, since lockdown, we took on Jimmy as an apprentice, we took on Lee, who used to work here, and we increased Esme's hours. And the plan was to grow the business, but then that was cut short by a car crashing into the shop. It's all old news now, most of you know that already. We were based at Madison offices for 10 months. Can you believe that? 10 months. The guy who crashed into the shop only actually got 8 months for doing it. Since then, we've moved back in here. We've had a bit of a refurb, which is almost finished, and we've been holding off having a party for the refurb to finish, and that's been kind of put on the back burner mostly by a leak. It was something to do with whatever the builders have done. It's caused more water to come into the shop. So the other half of the shop was kind of screened off for ages. Well, they sorted that out. Half the ceiling was missing, etc. We've moved back in there now, and we've had some more shelves put in over the past couple of weeks. We've had a desk put in. I don't know if you can see. There you go. There's the desk. We've got some branding to put on that as well. Yeah. Okay. So there's still stuff being done, but the plan is to have as much as possible done by the end of this month. And as you can see at the bottom of the screen there, where are we? Relaunch party. Thursday, 1st of September from 7 p.m. So come and get drunk on a school night. Turn up for work with a hangover the next day. It's for winners. Okay. As I alluded to earlier on, we've had some kind of staffing issues. So I had to let Lee go when we were up at Madison offices because we just weren't getting the trade up there. Shortly after we returned here, Esme left, and about 4 weeks ago, Jimmy left. And in the meantime, we've taken Callum on. And turbulence like that does cause us problems because some people just don't like change. So you notice that some clients don't come back. But we're getting through that, we're starting to build again. And hopefully it'll be onwards and upwards from here. Callum's a superb young barber. And I don't think I've seen him do a bad cut yet. You know what I mean? You haven't had your hair cut by him yet, have you?
No. No, not yet. I haven't seen him, to be fair.
I've had good feedback anyway from people whose hair he has cut, and I've watched him working, and he does a lovely job.
Good. That's good.
So yeah, I've covered the party. So I'm just looking down at notes because I'll just waffle on forever and go off in different directions if I don't refer to my notes. Okay. We've got our first comment on those from Callum, actually. Let's keep it that way, Phil. You can put these on the screen, can't you? Where did you go?
Me off.
There we go.
Yeah, you can. If you just click it, it'll come on. There you go.
Cool.
Click it again and it'll go away.
What time are we on now? We're about 10 minutes behind already. It says show people around in the notes. I'll give you a quick tour over my shoulder because I'm using a laptop, so I can't walk around pointing my phone at stuff. So for anyone who's not been in yet for a while, let me just spin it around so you can see 2 workstations behind me, hopefully. Okay. And then we've got that desk that I just told you about. Loads of beer there, and I'm doing beer at the Barbers and not drinking any beer. It is criminal. Okay. We've got a lovely new backwash there, which will actually also massage your back. Okay, and if I
Very,
take you
it's
through
very
to the other
good, by
room,
the way, Phil. It's very good, that massage. Very nice.
so if I take you through to the other room, which is in darkness at the moment, okay, there's another workstation there. The sofa's in this room now. Don't know if you can see that. Okay, we've got a lot more space than what we used to have, even though we've got less people. But yeah, enough space for a party. So put it in your diaries, Thursday, 1st of September, 7 p.m. Let's get on it. We haven't had any more questions or comments yet, but we'll see how it goes. Who else is on anyway? There's 2 people watching for definite. If it's my mum, just don't come in. She'll say something embarrassing. Okay, so Aaron, over to you, mate. What do you want to tell us about the background of the LS11 podcast?
Yeah, well, LS11, it's been running now. I think it's been running for about 5 or 6 years now, and I'm quite proud to say that we're one of the top 3 Leeds podcast providers. I think when you look at the stats, obviously you've got Squareball, Phil Hay, etc. But yeah, it started off with Ryan Wilson, obviously Pigeon Detectives, Darren Harper as well as part of the team. They've obviously got Ben Parker on board as well. And yeah, it's just slowly evolved over the last couple of years, really. It's got bigger and bigger and bigger. Obviously, we do a show on there, which is Any News LS11, which I'm a real big part of. But obviously, we go on to different podcasts as well. We get interviewed by a whole host of different ones. We all jump on. It's quite good, actually. Last year, in October, November, all the Leeds podcasters did a charity football event down at Goals, so that was quite good. But yeah, I think like podcast providing though, there's just so many Leeds podcasts out there now. It's gone boom all of a sudden. I think that's because of the Premier League, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, there are quite a lot. I mean, I've lost count, to be honest. I mean, I used to buy the Squareball magazine back in the 90s.
Yeah.
Then I didn't for a while, and then they started podcasting. It must be at least 10 years ago.
Yeah, they've been they're one of the big ones out there for podcasts, and they're great.
That's the first one that I ever listened to.
Yeah.
Now I kind of dipping in and out of podcasts. There's yours, and also Phil Hay show. And I've really not got enough time in my life for any more.
Well, this is the thing.
Sorry.
There's just so many out there. It's up to you, really. But we've got YouTube as well. I think we've got 11,000 subscribers on YouTube now, which is huge. Compared to so we're reaching out to people. Those people, obviously people listen live, or they can watch again, or they can download it, or whatever. You just get there's so many ways to kind of keep in touch, really, and. But yeah, it's slowly evolved, and it continues to evolve as well. So it's good, and there's some good lads on there as well. And we all get along most of the time. But yeah, it's nice, and for when I got into it as well, it was obviously with COVID and things, just to keep me busy talking about football and stuff, and they're good lads as well. I speak to a lot of them outside of his WhatsApp group and stuff. So it's met a couple of good mates out of this, so it's been quite good.
Yeah, had you met any of them before? How did you get involved?
No, well, I've met them all now. The only one I haven't met is George. Yeah. He's still in the virtual world. But speaking of George, he's going to be doing. We do a transfer deadline day. We've actually got him. He's going to be stood outside Ellen Road for the live for about 3 hours, going down there and seeing what's going on. So that's on the transfer deadline day, which I think clashes with your relaunch party because that's but I'll pop down anyway. But yeah, it's just really evolved, and it's got huge, like Twitter and that. It's just gone boom, really. So, and it's nice as well though, because like now for me, like when I'm out going to football games, these people come up to go, I really like what you were saying the other week and stuff like that. Come up, you get spotted at the ground and stuff. So a bit of a newfound fame, really.
Okay. It's got different formats as well, hasn't it? So you've got like a team that do earlier in the week, and then you've got you guys are doing Thursdays now.
Yeah, Thursdays. Yeah.
Is it just the three? Is it 2 or 3 different podcasts that it's split into?
So the content that we get out, so we look at so obviously there's the news stuff as well, which is me, Alfie, George, etc. Then you've got your main podcast, which is Ryan, Ben, and Darren. So they do the kind of the main hosts and bits. But then you've also got your extra bits as well. So you've got like a match review of what's gone on from the previous game with Ryan and Jerry McNamee, and then you've got another LS11 extra, which is where you look at the opposition view and Darren has a conversation with them. So it's just putting out content really to get lots of different views really. But we are, continuing to look at Evolve and putting more stuff into there as well. So there's, watch this space. There's a lot more stuff to come from LS11. I know that they did a chat the other day as well with oh God, I can't remember who it was now. It's just gone out of my head. But yeah, there's just loads of different people getting involved as well for it as well, which is quite good. Do a lot of writing on the website and blogs and things. So yeah,
it's just growing arms and legs and becoming enormous, isn't it?
Yeah, and for me as well though, because I've done tonight I just did my 102nd show, so we've done 102 of the bloody things, and I just think those bloody poor sods have listened to me rant and moan about Leeds. It's quite funny, really.
Yeah. I mean, some of these people might not otherwise get to have that conversation with someone else all week. If they, I don't know, maybe they're working from home. Wanting to exchange views with people, it's a good way to keep in touch and exchange those views, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely, you're totally right. Just speaking out to people, and football is one of those sports which everybody's got a different opinion, and no one's ever right, is there, with football? It's that thing really. So, but yeah, that's the beauty of doing this show, is because you're listening to different views and take some on board and think, oh, you're talking absolute nonsense there.
Yeah. Well, we've got 10 minutes still anyway till Turnbull's due on. So do you want to kind of summarise your thoughts on the last 6 months at Leeds?
Oh God, have you ever been at Blackpool, Phil? Have you ever been on the Pepsi Max big one? It's like that. It's been a real roller coaster ride over the last 6 months. I think obviously with Bielsa going and Marsh coming in and surviving, and then doing well in the transfer window, and it's just suddenly gone extinct. I think the last 6 months for Leeds has been one hell of a roller coaster ride, and we've just got on it again really for this season. But it's been tough. And I know I've said this to you in the shop before, but it's bloody hard work being a Leeds fan, and I don't think a lot of people understand, the mental torture which you have to go through, especially with the survival at Brentford. It was, it's crazy. But that's the beauty of football. That's what we live and breathe it into it, really, because that's what it's all about.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why I do it to myself. I mean, I'm self-employed, and that's enough of a roller coaster.
Yeah.
And then I go home and give myself some more. Go follow Leeds.
Yeah, it is, and I think I think the last 6 months, so generally, I think they've been great. We've stayed up. We've had a really good transfer window so far. I think Jesse Marsh has got a few decisions right. Obviously, we look at the Wolves game. He called it right there. Not so good against Southampton. It was disappointing, but that's football. And we'll all go there on Sunday. Thinking, yeah, we'll get something from this game against Chelsea. We'll win 3-1, 3-2, or whatever, and we'll get umped 4-0 or something like that. But that's the beauty of football, isn't it? That's what it's about. But I think for me, it's because obviously it was supposed to be a World Cup year as well. The summer months are absolutely boring. I like cricket, but it's not the same, is it? Really?
No. There's Jimmy for you.
Hello, Jimmy, sir. How are you?
Hi, Jimmy. Hope you're well, mate.
Is he a Leeds fan, Jimmy?
Yeah.
Oh, excellent.
He's more into his rugby, but he kind of loosely follows Leeds.
Well, I'd like to know what he thinks. If he gets in the comments, we can see what he thinks of Leeds is so far this season. I'll tell you what, I've been impressed though with the signings. I think Brendan Aronson, though, Phil, I think he's a real talent.
He's a handful, isn't he?
Yeah, and for 21-year-old, you think, God, he could be in the Premier. I think
he'll keep defenders busy.
Yeah, and I just can't wait till he plays against Manchester United because I think he'll absolutely destroy him. You know, but
I want to play them now.
well, yeah, well, this is the thing. Well, they're absolutely dreadful, aren't they, at the moment? But
Yeah.
yeah, I think, you know, when I look at Leeds, I think, right, you know, last 6 months, it's been brilliant. We've stayed up, and I think the future is bright. I don't think we're going to have a relegation scrap, this year. I think we'll be absolutely fine.
You'd have taken 4 points from close competitors, wouldn't you? You know,
Oh, absolutely, yeah, absolutely. And
disappointed. It's nice to feel disappointed that we didn't get more.
Absolutely, and we should have got more though. You know, it's 2 points dropped, really, isn't it, rather than a point gained. But when you look back to last year, you know, where we started, I think we only took 1 point after. We're at 2 points after 6 games or something like that. It wasn't great, and
Not the best start.
No, and those 4 points, which we've currently got, could be the difference to keep us in the league towards the end. But I think once we get Chelsea out the way, I think there'll be a real test against them on Sunday. And, you know, I think we've got a really good run of fixtures then, haven't we? We've obviously got Brighton, Brentford and Everton. That'd be a good one. So, yeah, but I think the future is definitely bright for Leeds. It really is.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I'm not saying we're going to be in Europe this time next season, but I think we'll be in a better position than we were last season.
The only European competition, Phil, we want is the Champions League. We're not bothered about the Papa John's Conference League or Europa League, because the problem with those leagues is, and we've seen it with Leicester, we've seen it a little bit with West Ham, those competitions, they really do take it out you when you're playing Thursday, Sunday. It's been like back in the Championship. It literally kills you as a professional player, doesn't it, really? And you know, it knocks your league form, and unfortunately,
you need a massive squad for something like that as well.
Yeah, and we haven't got a massive squad, have we? Let's be fair.
Yeah, I mean, it's strong, but not massively.
Yeah, but when they're travelling over to, you know, travelling proper Eastern Europe, aren't they? They're over there. It's 6-hour journeys and stuff like that. And I'm not saying jet lag is an issue, you know, but it knocks you out of it, doesn't it? Travelling and stuff, it takes its toll.
Yeah. Like I said before, I mean, if anyone's just joined, obviously feel free to pop questions on, pop comments on. Win yourself a beard kit and a Philip Nicholas t-shirt. Now, while we're waiting for Turnbull to join us, I'm just going to play another Skylights video. Hope you like it, and hopefully you'll be in the waiting room by the time it's finished.
Sure, I will.
Oh, I'm doing it wrong. Aaron.
Shit. You're doing what now?
I'm doing it wrong. Just
click on share.
It went well earlier on. Full screen. That was it. I had to share the window, didn't I?
That's the one.
And that window is gone. Right. Just bear with us, folks. It's working now. Just bear with me a sec. I knew it would go on. Bloody hell. Cancel. Right. Let me just do that again. Technology, it just lets me down every time. Right, so 5 pounds left. Try and share again. There it is.
There we go. Lovely.
Timeless falls on this blue sky. Hear the words, but don't ask why. People watch you, people stare. Nobody stops, nobody cares. The words to the wise who spent their lives will beat this now on the sunrise for you. And in this world our fear and hate. We stand tall, but way too late. I'm not sleeping. Do you care? Seconds falls through that city. You're finding the words to say I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Darkness falls on this old town. Hear the words, we don't look down. People watch you, people stare. Nobody stops, nobody cares. Words in the wise who spread their lies. The people stay when the sun will rise for you. And in this world, our fear and hate, stand tall, the way too late. I'm not sleeping. Do you care? As darkness falls through that city, can't find the words to say I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not sleeping. Do you care? Darkness falls through that city. Can't find the words to say I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Ooh.
Very good.
I've just had a message from Turn. Oh, here he is now, actually.
Where am I going here? Is that right?
No, other way. You're sideways on. No, you're upside down.
That way.
No, you're still sideways on. That's it. How are you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. How are you?
Yeah, fine, thanks. We were just enjoying Darkness Falls while you were sorting your technology out.
I'm glad someone does.
Yeah, so I was just telling everyone earlier on that we spoke to you during lockdown.
Yeah.
Just thought I'd ask you back on for a bit of a catch-up, really.
Yeah. Sound, mate.
Yeah, cool. Like I said to everyone, right. If anyone's got any questions for Turner, Turnbull, please do post them. I'm sure he'll be quite receptive to answering a few questions. So I'm just messing about with my settings.
No, it's sound.
There we go.
I don't know how you've got yours wide angle and mine's different.
Because you're using a phone and I'm using a laptop, probably.
Ah, right. I see.
So if you're using a laptop, you'd be the same as us.
I've never used this before, you see. It's new to me. And Chrome won't let me use my mic.
I need a wide angle lens anyway because I eat too much. So Did you get the list of questions that I sent you by email?
Yeah, I had a quick look for them, mate. Just fire away.
So, if you just tell us about yourself and sort of family, do you have like a day job? Or is this now your day job, or did you have a day job which you had to
I'm at my day job now, mate.
Yeah.
or a night job even tonight.
And what's that?
I'm an electrician. I work in a data center, so just keeping it all running. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So do you have to like book nights off when you've got gigs then?
We normally do them on a weekend, so it's not too bad.
Oh, right, okay. No worries.
Yeah.
And do you still like live and record in York, or do you record in Leeds or what?
A place called Turnbull, and we get my mate up. Yeah, we get my mate up from London to do it.
I used to live in Turnbull near the Ring of Bells.
Oh, did you? Nice.
Yeah. It's when I was in the process of leaving the army, they put me there so that I could travel every day through to Leeds to do my barber training. So yeah, I think we were there for about 6 months.
Oh, so yeah, it's not a bad little place, is it?
It's a nice area. It was a crap house. That's the army for you.
Yeah, I never got to see your house. Like, it's got a nice pub there, and our recording studio is just over at Bridge, about half a mile over at Bridge, so just up that way. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I really like it there, to be honest. I'd move back to sort of Strensall, Haxby area tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our bass player lives in Haxby.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Just moving down the list because conscious that some people won't play. Do you want to tell us a bit about background with Skylights? I think I asked you this during lockdown anyway. Sort of how you sort of came together and how it kind of went up to COVID, because I'm sure it's taken a different trajectory since then.
Yeah. So 2008, I'd played in a few bands previously on the bass, and Johnny, our current bass player, had done a few bands playing guitar, and he just popped round to see us and just said, "Do you want to start a band?" And I said, "Well, if we're going to do a band, then I'd like to play guitar." And he said, "Oh, well, sound, I'll do the bass." So we had a couple of songs, and then I got my mate Tom Reeve to do some drumming for us. He wanted a drummer, but his dad was a drum teacher, and he taught Alan Leach from Shed 7 and a couple of other people. So he used to borrow his kit, and we'd just have a bit of a jam. Nothing too serious, but it came down to actually needing someone to sing, because I can't sing, Johnny can't sing, and to be fair, Tom wasn't a bad singer, but he was on the drums, so it'd be not much use to us. So I was gonna, we did get a guy in. It was pretty good, to be fair, but he just didn't suit us at all. He was really good and really polished, and it did not suit it. So we were pretty desperate, as I've said many times before. So Johnny's brother Rob Skaz had sung in his school band when he was about 14. That's the only time he'd ever done any singing. Do you know what I mean? Just a bit of nonsense, just to impress the girls from school. So we went round and just dragged him to the studio, because he didn't have any money and he didn't have a job. So we give him a few quid and just give him all his beers and just bribed him, basically. And that's how it started.
Oh, the missus is saying hello. The missus has found us. She's found me. She's tracked us down. So, obviously, from you coming together, I think I don't know how I came across you. I think I might have just come across you on Twitter or something like that. I don't think you performed live an awful lot, had you, before COVID?
Well, funnily enough, we'd done quite a lot, because, like I say, we started in 2008, and we played quite a few gigs up until about 2011, and then we stopped playing completely. Right. Might have been a bit earlier than that, and then we came back in 2018. You see, so we did a couple of gigs in 2018 and a few gigs in 2019, and then it all just kind of stopped with COVID and that.
And that brings us on nicely to where you are now, because you've done all sorts, haven't you, since then? You've done Scotland and Ireland, the O2, Peace Hall, Aiken Working Men's Club.
We'll forget about the Aiken one.
Hey, sorry?
No, I'm only joking. I was going to say we'll forget about the Aiken one. Yeah, it's gone amazingly well. When we started back in 2018, we basically just did it for a laugh, because my missus was saying to me, wouldn't it be a laugh if you play one more show and we'll get all our old friends together? Because in like 2008, I just got with my now wife, and it was big parties and stuff with our families and stuff like that. And we'd have a gig and just treat it like a massive party. And that's what we still do now. And when we stopped playing for like 7 or 8 years, or however long it was, she was always on me saying, let's just do one more show. We can get all our old mates together and just have a big party. And I was dead against it. And Skaz, the singer, kept saying, wouldn't it be good to do another show? So we only actually came back for one gig. And we booked out the venue called Fibbers in York. And it used to only be 200 capacity when we used to play there. But after I'd booked the damn thing, I found out that it was 600 capacity. I'm thinking to myself, this is going to look ridiculous. There's going to be us lot playing. There's going to be my missus, 4 of my pals, and my mum and dad. So there's going to be about 8 people there, and we've got a 600 venue. It's just going to be a disaster. So I just started panicking and flooding social media with our songs, really. And Skaz had done the YRA song just as a bit of a tongue-in-cheek thing. Do you know what I mean? Just with a Leeds influence, because obviously he's a massive fan. And there was no thought behind it whatsoever. Like, no thought. It was just sheer blind panic. I just tweeted anyone, and everyone. And Leeds picked it up and used it as the song of the season. Thanks to them. Do you know what I mean? And we ended up selling the place out. So it was just like, oh, bloody hell, this has gone all right. Do you know what I mean? And ever since then, it's just been the stress of selling and then enjoying the shows. And then it's like after one show's over, it's like, let's do another. Do you know what I mean? It's just sort of rolled off for each one.
Yeah, and you are still really, really active on social media, aren't you? I can't believe how much sort of content you get out there.
Well, it's like anything. Everywhere you go, you see people just holding their phones. Do you know what I mean? And no matter where you go, people are just holding the phone. So when I've got my phone out, I'll answer a few people's tweets. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's like people say, the way we interact, it's amazing. It's just like, well, someone's tweeted us, so I'm going to give them a nice reply. Do you know what I mean? Because we like meeting people and chat to people, and that's kind of what we're about.
Yeah. Oh, it's worked really well for you. Anyway, do you do all the social media yourself, or do the other guys sort of have any input?
Yes, all me. I mean, Skaz had to go for a little bit, and he's got his own account back again. But I think someone said he sounded like a karaoke singer, so he's like, I'm not doing this. And closed that down. Whereas I don't mind a bit of stick. I find it quite funny.
Yeah. So, do you want to tell us about your album?
Yeah, it's wow. It was a long time in making, because we picked out the best tunes from 2008 that we'd written, and also added the newer songs like Enemies and YRA and stuff like that. And so it's literally sort of just a lifetime of music for us all, just putting it all together. And it just seems to have gone quite well, which, we're all buzzing about. And there's no big plan. Sorry, mate, I missed that.
I was just going to say, you can buy that through your website, can't you?
Yeah, you can get that. Just links on our website and stuff. And no, it's just so nice to actually have an album that that's like a physical copy. Like I mean, to be honest with you, I ain't bought many physical copies over the last few years, but I did actually buy a Dire Straits LP the other day, because our record label's like, we're doing all these LPs and these albums. I'm like, bloody hell, I'm gonna have to buy a record player. And I just happened to be at a car boot, and there was a record player there, so I bought the record player, and it had Dire Straits' the big hit album, Brothers in Arms, or Brothers in Arms, I think it's that. And I had it, and I was like, wow, I love having this bit of physical music. And I read all the songs on the back, and I read all the stuff on it. And I'm thinking, this is nice to have a bit of physical, because you'll both remember, like buying your album through like CD album, and you read through the booklet and all that. And it's kind of a bit nostalgic. You've had a rough paper round, pal.
There's all the hill in Baghdad.
Yeah, fair play to you for that, honestly. You're a braver man than me.
Do you want to share some of your quirkier comments, some of your quirkier moments that you've enjoyed? Like I mean, you've ended up on Soccer AM, etc., haven't you?
Oh, yeah. I mean, realistically, the whole thing has been... it's just one thing's led to another. Do you know what I mean? It's like everything we've done, we've just been forced into it by either our wives or something. Do you know what I mean? Or someone's twisted our arm. Because literally, honestly, when we first started, when we were younger, like 2008, 9, 10, 11, all we got was stick. We just got a load of stick, and everyone said we were crap. And so when we came back, we were quite surprised that everyone said we were good. Well, a lot of people said we were good, not everyone. And so one thing's just led to another. And then, Instagram, you get a message off Fenners saying, would you like to come on show? It's like, yeah, too right we do. Do you know what I mean? Because I don't watch it so much now, but my kids do. Do you know what I mean? So I'll be in the room when they're watching it and stuff. And I watched it every Saturday morning. I'd watch that show when I was a kid. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I even got on it once on the phone, guessing how many goals they'd kick in, and I didn't win anything. So I had a bit of a bug to bear with that. But anyway, when we got on Friday morning, and we were just kicking the ball through the bin, aiming for top bins. And it's a hell of a lot harder than it looks, I tell you. And we just spent all day kicking about, and then we just spent the afternoon hanging about with Bullard and Fenners, and Alex Bruce was there. So it was just like, are we really here? Do you know what I mean? This can't be us that doing this. That's kind of what it was like.
Did you tell Alex Bruce that his dad's shit?
He was getting absolutely battered at the time by all the Newcastle fans, so I left him to it.
So
I mean,
what have you got lined up then for like the rest of the year, stroke next year?
Well, I'm desperately trying to get hold of our producer. He's had, honestly, I'm going to have to get some type of intelligence agency with us, because it's like tracking down Bin Laden. Honestly, he is a hard man to find. But I guess when someone's good, they're hard to find. I mean, I must ring him 3 times a day and just no answer. And then after about a month, they'll just pop up with a date, and then we have to do that date, and then we have to get it right on that date. So, because we've got 2 songs ready to go, ready to record, and we want to get that sorted. And then we've got a few dates. We're trying to get a few dates up in Glasgow, Edinburgh, and Aberdeen, and then a big show in Leeds end of next year. So we're just ticking over at the minute, just writing a couple of songs and just doing things like that.
Yeah, cool. I definitely need to go again. We'll see what comes. I think the O2 Academy was a great night. It was a really, really good night. Well, that must be the highlight of what you've done so far, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously you have a lot of ups and downs. You'll know it with your podcast and even in your job, do you know what I mean? Working with public and stuff. Yeah. Every day is different, and some days you think, why am I bothering doing it? And other days you're thinking, well, this is brilliant. And the O2 Academy show was just great because, like, even we started sound checking at 12, and then Josh turned up. You know what I mean? So we're chatting to Josh, and having a right laugh with him, and all our mates sort of popped up for the sound check, and it was just a cracking day. And I've been stressing out for 4 months trying to promote the damn thing because it's a big old place. Do you know what I mean? And so it got to 12 o'clock. I cracked open a couple of cans of Kronenberg, which Skaz wasn't happy about. I don't know what beer he wanted, but I got a load of Kronenbergs in, but he's never happy with anything. So we started on Kronenberg, and after those 2 cans, all the anxiety and worry of the show just disappeared. And I just had, the best day I could have had. It was just so good.
Good.
And it was mint having Josh there as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you found any kind of like links or partnerships with other bands, like maybe supporting bands like The Void, or do you keep in touch with other bands on a regular basis?
Yeah, we do, but we don't really do gig swaps, to be honest. We've got too much on. Do you know, if we're going to do gigs, we want to make them big gigs. We've done the like, you can literally go to any city in the world and play to no one. So you might as well focus on the places that like you. Do you know what I mean? And we've got a good fan base in Scotland. We've got a good fan base in Dublin, and obviously Leeds is unbelievable. And so it's like, why would we venture down south to play to no one? Do you know what I mean? When we can just play great shows up here.
I saw that picture of you in front of the pub called the Square Ball. And
Oh yeah.
I was only in Dublin a couple of weeks ago and I didn't know it was there, otherwise I would have had to have gone.
It is right out of the way, because we did the Square Ball podcast a few weeks ago, and they told us about it when we were in the office, and they were like, "Oh, look out for the pub, the Square Ball," and we got absolutely wrecked on the Friday. Like, we'd started on the ferry at like 7 in the morning, so it was just a long old day. So we never found it that day. So next morning we got up, like, felt horrendous, and we're like, we need to get a pint in. So I'm like, right, okay, let's find this pub. So we found the Square Ball pub, and we walked about 3/4 of an hour to find it. And we're queuing up outside. We got there about 11:30, open till 12. We just stood outside front door like proper losers waiting for it to open. So we just thought, oh, we'll get a couple of photos outside and post it, send it to the lads, and it got a good reaction, that picture.
I was going to ask you some questions about Leeds United, but I'll let Aaron ask you, since he's our resident Leeds United.
Well, you want me to ask? Well, I wouldn't say I'm an expert, Phil.
You'll know more than me.
Well, I don't know what you put me on the spot there. What do you want me to ask, Phil?
Well, I'm going on Sunday, mate. That's what I'm doing.
What do you think is going to happen on Sunday then?
What do you think is going to happen after a start like we've had? Anything can happen, because we look pretty solid at back. So, I mean, why not nick a 1-0? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anything's possible.
Anything is, isn't it? Even with Tuchel out as well, you think, I think that could work in our favour. Because he's a bit of a tinkerman down on that touchline, isn't he, for Chelsea? Yeah. I remember when I went down to Chelsea last year away, and he was always on that touchline there, barking orders. So I think that could be different for us.
I'm pleasantly surprised. I'm pleasantly surprised with the start. I mean, Southampton's not an easy place to go. And fair enough, we conceded 2 goals, but we still managed to get 2-0 up ahead. Do you know what I mean? And last season, we couldn't stop conceding first. Yeah. So at least we actually got a couple of goals. What's happening with Bamford then? Is he out for a while? I haven't really followed that.
I don't know. I don't answer the press. I think it's out tomorrow, isn't it, where Jesse Marsh speaks? So watching that. But I think the thing is, though, for me, though, it's the lack of a striking option, really. I know we brought Dan James on, didn't we, against Southampton? You think?
Yeah, he's not a striker.
No, you just think, oh God, it's back to the same. We all thought, didn't we? And I was watching it on bloody Norwegian TV on some stream on Saturday. I think, oh God! And when you heard Dan James, you know exactly what's happening, don't you? But yeah, it was gut wrenching. But obviously, you're right saying though, coming away with a point from Southampton, it's good. But it felt like a defeat to me.
With the late goals conceded, it was unfortunate. But it's like you say, right. It would be nice, to have Bamford fit all season. But that's easy said than done.
We look a different side with Bamford, don't we? I watched them against Wolves, and we just looked so much better on the ball, off the ball, pressing.
Well, he holds it up. He holds the ball up, whereas Dan James is just a pace player. So it just makes it difficult. And I think, as everyone knows, finding a goal scorer who can hold the ball up is the hardest player you can find. So I think they just find it difficult to do that. So hopefully,
James is like having a little Jack Russell about the place, isn't he?
Yeah, quite good to play off a big man. Then again, Rodrigo's started to do all right, hasn't he? So
he played number 9 for Valencia in Spain. So I don't think some reason
Well,
what's asking to play
he's,
on 9 weeks.
Yeah.
top goal scorer in the Premier League, isn't he, Rodrigo, at the moment?
Is he?
I mean, he's scoring goals, so
Yeah.
stick him up front. Do you know what I mean? Have James playing off him.
Yeah, I saw a stat on Twitter a couple of days ago. I think, since his time at Leeds for Rodrigo, I think he scored 35% of his goals under Jesse Marsh, which I think is quite impressive. Actually, he's been there, 3 years? He's into his third year now, isn't he? I think he could be a good player for us this year, Rodrigo. And to be fair, he's had a lot of stick. I've given him plenty of stick before, thinking, he's crap, he's shit, he's not good enough. Along with 99.9% of everybody else. But I think he deserves a good season, does Rodrigo, as well, doesn't he, really?
Yeah, hopefully he's settled in a bit and he's had a good pre-season and Marsh is playing him how he wants to play. So I think fingers crossed. If he bags a couple against Chelsea, everyone's happy.
Oh, well, isn't it? Get that statue built. One thing, because I asked this when I was on my show earlier today, what do you think to the summer signings? Because it's just interesting to see different viewpoints of what people think of them. What do you think of Christensen?
Well, they seem to be doing all right, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like I say, I was very fearful. I thought the first 5 games this season would tell us a lot.
Yeah.
Because obviously it was a struggle at the end of last season, and we just scraped it. Great win last game of the season, no doubt, but that was a close call.
Yeah.
I mean, it was touch and go. So I thought, right, if we start our first 2 games getting beaten, it's going to be a long haul. Whereas 4 points from 2 games, it's obviously you'd rather have 6, but it's still a fairly decent start. And get a point, beat Chelsea, then it's been a fantastic start, and obviously everything's worked out well.
Absolutely. And the thing is, we're much better off than where we were compared to last year. After 2, it was 1 point, I think, last year, wasn't it? I think we took 2 from his opening 3 last year, and so 4 points. That 4 points could be the difference, couldn't it?
Yeah, it was a very slow start last year.
Yeah, just staying up or whatnot. One for me is Brendan Aronson. I think he looks a bit of a terrier, doesn't he? I like the look of him. And for 21-year-old, I think, obviously with Rafinha and Phillips going this summer, I think he, in the next 3-4 years, if we coach him well, he could be a superstar in the future.
Yeah, I mean, it started off well, and hopefully, it might. Some good might come out of it. Had a bit of money, but spent it hopefully wisely. And touch wood, it's a workman-like team that's going to grind out results.
Absolutely. Just need a striker, don't we now? And I think for me, the finishing jigsaw piece is a striker this summer. Hopefully, we'll.
Unless, like you say, Rodrigo starts banging him in, and then we're all happy.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm pleased for Rodrigo, but I think for me,
time will tell.
Yeah, time will tell, because he could go on a massive, a goal drought now, couldn't he? Not score for the next 10. But I think if we get another striker in, somebody with Premier League quality who's going to bang you 12, 13 goals a season, somebody like a Che Adams, I'll be happy with that.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, but other than that, it's a great start to the season. We can't complain. And long may the roller coaster ride continue. And
I'm looking forward to Sunday, because we managed to get some tickets. So there we go.
The atmosphere is going to be absolutely. I think I went to. Did you go to Chelsea last year?
No.
It was.
Oh, you know what? I did actually. I did go to that one.
The noise. Well, that was when it was pretty much like do or die for us, wasn't it? I can remember being in the Peacock. I think, I'm talking this. Yeah. And I made 2-pint can of dark fruits or whatever it was. Like, we'll beat these today. We've got hammered 3-0, and you just think, we can do something here. But I think Sunday, the atmosphere though last year at home against Chelsea was, I've never heard anything like it at the start.
Yeah,
the ears were popping. I think I think Wolves was great as well with the atmosphere there. But I think it'll be really good on Sunday. Yeah,
definitely. And I mean, it's so hard to get tickets now that buzzing to go. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, fair play. It's like gold to start the tickets at the moment.
Yeah.
Well, that's us on the hour mark now, guys. So shall we wrap it up for the evening? Thanks very much for coming on.
No, cheers. Thanks for having us.
Really, would like to thank you for your time. We'll let everyone go to bed now. What time did you finish, Turn?
You what, pal?
What time did you finish?
7 morning.
Always
So you
on a
enjoy
night
your
shift.
sleep.
I'll have been up an hour by the time you go to bed. That's lovely, Ray. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Cheers,
thanks for
fellas.
having me, mate.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Bye.
See you later.
See you soon.
Bye. There we go. All done.